fun when the going gets tough and the tough gets going. You just go ahead and run, cause opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. They're being constructive or they jealous of the outcome. It's not about the times you fail, it's about the times you got up. And I don't even care what the fuck your excuses is. Fact is, you just playing the cards of foolishness. What you think I'm doing is you gotta get up, get going and just move on. Don't look towards the past, you gotta groove on. You procrastinating now, you gotta get that motivation. I already created a track called Inspiration. Gotta get up, get going and get fucking hype. Go.
Welcome, everybody, to Wrestling Talk Now. Of course, it is Thursday. We are about to run it down for you folks. Before we get... Oh, well, hold on. I probably should introduce myself, right? It's your boy, Justin JLB, and I am not alone. I am with my favorite three co-hosts. I guess they're my favorites. Sure, my favorite three co-hosts. We're going to start it off with Jeff T. How goes it, good sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
We're good.
Not too shabby. It's Thursday. And, of course, we got Kid Crazy.
Yes, what up, everybody? I missed my wrestling boys. Glad to be back. Let's do this.
And, of course, we got Mr. BIGRED, Big Red.
The man of the hour is here. Let's rock and roll.
There you go. He's still sticking with that moniker, man of the hour. Yeah. Perfect.
I'm such a man of the hour that I have my own mug that says Big Red.
Oh, Jesus. You would.
Wow.
Perfect. Yeah, well, you know, that's it. You should definitely, next time you do something like that, you should definitely maybe put a QR code somewhere with the WTN link tree.
Oh, yes. See, and it's there. See, Wrestling Talk Now.
I know. QR code, though, so someone could scan your water bottle if someone gets that close to you during COVID.
What the hell? Oh, excuse me, sir. Let me scan your bottle of water. Like,
well, no. Let's say you're talking about, hey, what's Wrestling Talk Now? Oh yeah, here. You know what? You can scan this fucking barcode. Boom.
Straight to the link. Straight to the.
You never know, good sir. You never know. Oh well, here's a card, but a card will be weird. What if you don't got a card? You got your water bottle with you because it's usually hot as balls in Montreal right now. Can't wait for the fall. We're not here to talk about the weather, though. We are here to talk about some wrestling. And I guess let's turn back the curtain. That sounds weird. Turn back the curtain? No. Anyways, let's talk about some wrestling. There's obviously
up,
some
Nelson?
big news.
Bonjour.
How goes it, Nelson? Bonjour. What's up? Hello. Hola.
Hola. Nice.
okay, good.
Nice. Your Portuguese improving there.
It's not Well, it's also Spanish.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm going to Mexico in September. I'm working on that.
No, I'm going to tell the border not to let you through.
Oh, shit. Ay. Perfect. So, guys, wrestling news. I guess the biggest wrestling news we kind of have is, of course, their money that Vince McMahon dished out between 2006, 2007. Another $5 million apparently wasn't reported amongst two different cases. However, I don't believe we have any names or any kind of we don't really know where it's from. If it's a wrestler, a staff member, definitely someone within the WWE, but we don't know where it is attributed to. But we do know there's $5 million missing, and why Vince ultimately also decided to retire again. Yeah. So that brought it up to $19.5 million, which is more than he bought WCW, or just about because WCW was $20 million. No,
it was under.
No,
it was
2 million.
10.
2 million.
Was it 2?
Yeah, it was 2 million for the video library and the assets. Yeah.
Down.
Wow.
So, he's
That's
bought in
peanuts.
federations cheaper than the sexual allegations and hush money that he's had.
And he sold the XFL to The Rock for 15 million. So That covered a portion of those non-disclosures.
Yeah, I guess so. Jeez.
That didn't even cover the whole thing. So
Didn't even cover the whole thing. Oh, damn it. Listen, pal, I need more money. And of course, John Laurinaitis was also officially fired. It was a little hush-hush on that too. But it seems that he is gone, but apparently he got a nice severance pay out of it.
Well, how hush was it if it was in the news?
Well, the hush money per se at the time, it was hush hush. Come on, I see what you're doing there, Jeff. You ain't gonna get one up on me now, good sir. I'm ready to go. All right,
I got about another hour and a half. Sorry.
That's a very valid point. That's a very valid point.
What do we think?
What do you think? I don't know. Like John Laurinaitis firing.
I'm over that stuff.
Yeah, it was gonna happen.
More money's coming out.
Well, probably more money's gonna shown up because now they're going through all the books, so it's gonna whatever. He's retired until we have like a trial or somebody sues. Well, not sues because that would be have to be an individual entity would have to do that. But I mean, until we go to trial for either hiding money or not putting this money in the company expenses, then I don't know. I don't see the importance. He's not there no more.
That's fair.
Even though some people on the internet think he's still running things and I guess in secret, but I don't think so. And many people in the industry don't think that would be even possible. So
really,
there's two of them.
Hey, we got two Jeffs. Yes.
Damn. Who's the other one?
That's Jeff and Jeff.
That's it. Very narcissistic of you, Jeff. Very narcissistic.
Sorry about that, guys.
I rather, Vince McMahon. I rather the product has been so much better since he's officially retired. So I'm not saying there's not a lot of ways to go for the product to get to where I would like it to be. But nothing happens overnight, and I see the steps that have been taken, and so far, I'm okay. I would give it a thumbs up so far.
I have a question, because there was a point that I brought up with Justin on the show last week. What do you guys think of kind of like the point I made that we should at least give it at least till next WrestleMania to really pass judgment on how they're doing so far? What do you guys think?
I think WrestleMania is a fair limit date to put on this, because that would because like I just said, that nothing's gonna happen overnight, and these are storylines and characters that have been already entrenched in our minds by Vince's vision. That in some cases it might take a bit longer for us to believe these new storylines.
I had just thrown that out there just like that, but I'm sure obviously it could even take even longer than the next WrestleMania, but just to see, I would think at least 5-6 months to see.
Yeah, 5-6 months is fair. Yeah.
Well, we're definitely going to see how the creative writing gets. How long of a story can he build? We've been bitching for the longest time that the storylines are very short. We've been praising AEW for their long-term storytelling. And who's going to SmackDown next Friday? Whoop.
Moi.
Yep, just him. I mean, if still working on it. If I maybe would have known that all this was going to happen, maybe I would have wanted to get a ticket.
Don't get me started with that.
Because at Vince's SmackDown, as Vince's product, I was like, no, fuck this show. We're not going to see anything. But I don't know. The ticket prices were still a bit much.
So hold on, let me get this right. You're basing your decision on sexual harassment charges, whether you're going to go to SmackDown?
I mean, to an extent, yes.
Is that what you're saying?
I mean, technically, to a certain extent, very loosely based off the sexual allegation specifically. But yes, if there was sexual allegation, if there is sexual allegation cases, he had to retire from it. Then yeah, I want to see a Triple H SmackDown live. Definitely next TV show that comes here.
Or pay-per-view.
Definitely be more, or pay-per-view. I doubt it, but or pay-per-view. I would definitely be more intrigued to go. We saw a few things happen. So we're obviously seeing a lot more wrestling on TV now. Yep. Roughly we're seeing about 20 more extra minutes of wrestling than we used to.
Easy. Yeah.
So we're seeing guys like Ciampa get a big push. That I think Bobby Lashley match with Ciampa, I think that was the best I've seen Lashley in quite a few months. Really enjoyed his actual matchup. Well, I guess he was also facing Omos for like the longest time, but
Right.
Yeah, and I'm just overall just enjoying what is going on. Just that whole sequence with the car crash, but them not saying anything. It kind of just made you want to know, well, hey, what was that about? How come no one's mentioning it? It really made you curious, and I really liked how they did that whole little side storytelling without even mentioning it at all. And then, of course, we saw it very subtly, but Dexter Loomis had showed up.
Yeah.
I missed that. I saw it after, but I missed it live, watching it live. I was very surprised to see Dexter there. Come
yeah,
back
I was thinking Gargano. Gargano's from Ohio.
Yeah.
I was like, we're definitely going to see Gargano. Ciampa did a whole emoji thing on Twitter of Gargano's emoji that he does. That's his logo. And I was like, oh, okay. So, we're probably going to see Gargano. Maybe Gargano's going to join the Miz and Ciampa or something. But no, we get Dexter Loomis instead. So,
I'm happy with it.
It left us with a cliffhanger too.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what is he going to do? What's going to happen on either SmackDown or Raw? So really enjoyed that. Really, really good show. It's first time I've been pissed off that I had to leave work and I was going to miss 45 minutes of Raw in a very long fucking time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
well, the problem with Raw still remains, right? We all agree on that. The biggest problem that Raw has is that third hour.
But that's going to change very soon.
It's hard. Triple H is definitely an advocate for taking out that third hour. Definitely. Right. But the problem is
he?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he said it on a podcast, I think last week.
He said it.
He said it's so hard to book that third hour. That's what he said.
He also said it at when he was at Austin's podcast like a year or 2 years ago.
Oh, yes, I remember that. That's true. He did say it. Yes, that's true. The only problem with that is I don't think that can be done before the contract with USA is done. Because they paid whatever it was, $250 million. They paid to have 3 hours a week of wrestling. Or not of wrestling, but of programming.
Yeah. If the network decides and they say they want 3 hours, if they're going to shell out the money, he's not going to say no.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're in talks because the U.S. network, they want a world champion.
Yeah.
So Cross.
Yeah, that's the return of Cross is probably directly due to that.
Which I'm happy.
That's it. It was cool to see him. On SmackDown, totally demolished Drew McIntyre. And then, of course, Scarlett coming in with the
clock.
What is that?
Like clock. Sand through the hourglass.
These
hourglass,
Days of Our
exactly.
Lives.
That's it. Yes. Wow. You just instantly went to Days of Our Lives?
I grew up with that stuff. Don't get me started.
Jesus.
So now TikTok has officially started, but it's TikTok on who? It's the time is
Roman.
Okay.
Roman.
Okay, that's So we want to see that probably after Clash at the Castle or whatever it's called.
I guess maybe he'll get involved with that with Drew or something like that. Because we saw nothing on Raw with that, if I'm not mistaken, right? We got no carry-in. Jesus Christ, people. One job.
What the hell? Come on, man. Yeah, one job. Put your phone on silent.
That's fair. Do you have your phone on silent? I'm going to call you right now.
Vile.
I'm not doing it. I feel like you already put it on silent, so you'd prove me wrong without proving me wrong. I should have just did it without saying anything. Yes.
I have a question. The way I think, by bringing back all this talent, do you think it's more maybe to China to kind of change the face of the company that after, if they start bringing back too much talent, it ends up becoming kind of like the way it was before, where a lot of people, they didn't have nothing for them and they get released again?
I think
you know what I mean?
I still think that we're gonna get releases,
right?
Because they're still hiring and they have a lot of new people in that are developing. For all these athletes, right, from all that class, they hired two They hired, they hired two of those big classes of athletes. So I think there's still going to be. I think this is because Triple H really had something in mind story-wise for these people. Right. So Dakota Kai, Karrion Kross, and now Dexter, which is the one I'm surprised with the most. But in Triple H's wrestling mind, he must have an idea for Dexter, or else he wouldn't have brought him back. So he must have something in his storyline wise for Dexter. So I don't think it's gonna like become stale. I just think some people that just aren't fit for WWE will be released in the next year.
And I don't think they're gonna hire everyone that got released. I think the only two that are probably gonna come back is gonna be Gargano.
Bray and Gargano,
Bray and Gargano.
But also, you get rid of the third hour of Raw. That's a lot of. You don't need as much talent. So then, what are you going to do? You keep on bringing back this talent that you get rid of an hour.
Right.
Yeah. But it depends how they go with if they merge both brands, right? If they keep separate brands, then I guess you'll have a bit of a harder time to fill if you start bringing back too many people. But if you have everybody there, you'll find storylines, because like for Raw, for example, in the last few weeks, where much more wrestling, like JLB said, and it's much more the flow of the pacing is much more better. Right. What we see, but I don't think it's that hard to fix. I think it's really hard. The third hour is when you're putting too much mumble jumble in it, too much promos, too much stuff. You put in that last hour, you put in 2 wrestling matches of 18, 20 minutes. Bang, you got 40 minutes of that hour. So I think if you're able to put some good matches in there, it'll be easy to deal with than if you have to fill it up with the video packages and promos and segments and
And also, go ahead, Jeff. Go, Jeff.
Dave Meltzer was on Chris Jericho's podcast, and they were talking about the Vince McMahon retiring and everything. And even though he's technically gone from his day-to-day, work, he still has influence over the company. And like one of the comments that was made, that even though he's gone, it doesn't mean that he won't have some form of input in the company. And then the question becomes, does Stephanie listen to him? Does the Triple H listen to what he says? Because technically he's still the top shareholder, right? So he's still going to have some input, maybe not as much direct as he did before, And like one of the questions that was brought up too is that as far as creative is concerned, maybe how much, if there would be any clash between Nick Khan and Stephanie, so it's going to be interesting to see.
That is interesting, but I don't think Triple H being head of creative is too much the guy to have a CEO, whether it's his wife or Nick Khan, on top telling him how to run the shows itself. I think Stephanie will have suggestions and everything. That's obviously, because we've seen the difference in the women so far, with the return of Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky is her name, right? Io Sky, yeah.
Io Sky.
Yeah. So we see that he listens to them, but I don't think he's going to be creative wise. Obviously, I'm talking here. He will be taking orders from anybody. As for Vince McMahon, he's the biggest shareholder, and when it comes to times of when the vote will have to happen on big acquisitions or big TV deals or maybe even a sale of the company, I guess that would be the biggest thing where he would have power in would be in the sale.
Yeah, that was brought up during the podcast too. I mean, I recommend people go check it out. I mean, you say what you want about Dave Meltzer, but he gets a lot of information from different places. So,
and I mean, he knows his shit. He's been in the business for 40 years, right? Of just a wrestling journalist.
Yeah. He's got his sources, he's got his contacts, and we might sometimes not agree with his opinion, or sometimes he might have a bias. That's obviously true. But when it comes to facts and numbers and stuff like that, he knows what he's talking about. He has enough contacts and sources in the business to wouldn't be just talking out of his ass. So we might not like what he says sometimes, but you got to respect what he says and believe him until proven otherwise, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the guy has his credentials there, and was that this week?
The podcast was recent. Yeah, it was. I think maybe this week or last week.
This week or last week. Okay.
The main topic was. I recommend people listen to it. It was a really good interview.
It's to be exact, because I listened to it last night while I was working, and so to be exact, it's the fall of Vince McMahon, August 5th.
Oh,
yeah, last Friday.
Last Friday. Snap, yeah, that definitely would be an interesting listen. Sweet. Thank you for that knowledge nugget there. Definitely got to check that out. But yeah, I mean, yes, Vince has say. In a sense, Trips doesn't have to listen to him. He's head of creative. Trips has nothing to do with Vince. Mm-hmm. Vince will get pissed at his daughter because whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, they really don't have to listen to him. As a shareholder, as you mentioned, the only really crazy big thing that he would have a lot of influence in is if they sell WWE. If he threatens, I think he already sold like a third of his shares or something, which still wasn't a lot. At the end of the day, though, if he doesn't like what's happening, but it's still generating money, he's going to look like an idiot and a clown. Yeah. And he's not going to sell. Right now, literally, the WWE stock went from 68 last week, and it's up to $72 a share now. Mm-hmm. So it's stock market or whatever, and it does what it does and whatever have you. There's ups and downs and all that. But clearly something is happening. I think the viewership was also a bit higher on Raw this week too.
I think Raw last week, not this week, I don't know. But last week we were close to 3 million. Yeah. And we haven't seen that since before the pandemic. So that's huge.
It's actually good right now.
The thing is that even if there's one thing we can give to Vince, he's a smart businessman, and he would be how can I say, it would be not smart of him to see I'm not getting it in my tree. Okay, this is how I'm going to say it. He can't watch all this and see the higher ratings, the like you said, the stock price, and not see that this is the way to go for at least for now. He can't be that his ego is that big that he'd rather the fall of the baby he created just to prove a point.
I think one of the points that Dave Meltzer made too is that maybe this is also a setup for a potential sale.
Oh, that's also possible. That's how smart of a businessman he is. He knows that people thinking that, people seeing that Triple H is running the things the way the fans were asking it to be run, and now the stock prices go up, the ratings go up, and then bang, you sell it for a couple $100 million more than you were going to sell it. That's always a possibility because that's kind of a Vince move actually, but I guess we'll have to wait and see if they will ever sell it. I don't know. I really don't know.
Right.
There was a time where I might be more decisive on this, but I really don't know now. The way things are going now, I really feel like this is Triple H adopting Vince's baby and
evolving it.
Exactly. Yeah. What I was looking for. Thank you.
They did 1.9 million this week.
Okay, so they went back down a bit.
And they did 1.7 same time last year. So
it's still better.
Up. So it's still a lot better.
Yeah.
But last year was also pandemic, so I don't know how you would compare that. But yeah, definitely a lot better. And it's so, that's it. Vince is a smart guy. Maybe all this is to get it up so people can start, putting better offers in if they want to buy it. Who knows? Does Triple H tire? Does he, with his heart and all that? He says he's in good shape, but does he want to do this for another 10, 20 years? You know what I mean? We'll see. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to tell. I guess we'll just find out. Wait and find out. But I'm just enjoying the product a little bit more, though. So at least there's that.
But taking up the jobs of head of relations, of
creative,
and head of creative, that's a lot of work. So he must be fully invested in this.
Yeah.
Because or else he wouldn't have took both of them. I think he would have probably would have liked to have head of. Sorry, go.
But it was to your point though. So I'm sorry to interrupt. But he he's been doing that already, right? It's kind of he's did that in NXT. He was kind of a head of relations and head of creative, anyways, and he builds a good relationship with all of the people that he works with, anyways, right? All the wrestlers, he keeps them comfortable. There's a sense of loyalty there, so it's almost like second nature to him because he already knows he's been doing it for quite a long time already.
It's just now at a bigger scale, in a larger.
It's just a little bit of a bigger scale. Yeah.
That's true. And we've known from. Sorry, Jeff.
A little bit bigger. I think it's a lot bigger.
Well, yeah. Instead of doing 2 hours of a farm brand, you're doing 3 plus 5 plus 2, so you're doing 7 hours of big TV, of national TV. Well, NXT's national TV, but I mean of main roster brands.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
So that would be that's a lot. The workload should be a bit heavier there.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, for creative, yes, but I mean for talent relations, I mean, sure, it's different wrestlers and whatever, and certain people have egos, but I'm sure he's dealt with that in NXT anyways. You know what I mean? It's just a lot more people. Creative wise, absolutely.
One thing he wanted to change, I think we saw in a report in the past 2 weeks, was one of the first things he wanted to change in with talent relations is open up the lines of communication between him and all of the wrestlers. So before they would have to pass through, it would be very hard to get a one-on-one meeting with Vince. They would have to pass through John Laurinaitis or Triple H or whoever before. So now he really wants to open the lines of communication with all his and have a direct with his employees. So we see already what he is instilling in towards talent relations with the company, and apparently the wrestlers are happy with this.
And there's less banned on words, and there was more freedom. And technically, what I read is that there's script, but there's no script as well. So that makes it better.
So maybe more of a guide. Okay, go out. This is what the point you got to put out, but say it the way you want to say it, I guess.
Right.
Right.
Which is I think so in wrestling, I think it's the way to go, because this is not a dialogue type production with like a movie or a TV show. You know, this is a wrestling. So you have a point to get across. You have a story to tell, yes, but you have 2 ways to tell it, with the build up and promos, and then finally to finalize it in the ring. Yeah. So I think that's the way to do it in wrestling.
Because before with Vince, you were not allowed to say the ref's name for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, the commentators? I never even realized that.
And they never really brought the the history of the title beyond WWE. As we saw last week, we actually saw NWA and WCW with the US title.
The US title, yeah. Right. Which I like the video package, yeah.
So it gives the title.
That was a great video package.
It gives the title more value.
Yeah.
And you got more into the match.
Yeah. So I agree with that. And there's already a lot of wrestlers that have changed their bios, and that have put back wrestler in their bios on social media.
Nice,
yeah.
So we see slowly, and like Jeff said that, and like I said, this won't happen. These things that we start seeing now everything won't happen overnight, but it's fun to see that it's starting to happen, and that we're starting to enjoy WWE product, like slowly. Not that everything was bad, but it was that there was so much bad that it overtook the good, and now we're starting to see more and more good on a weekly basis, and I think that's the way to go, and I think it's only going to get better for a while now. Like Ricochet to start off SmackDown.
Amazing match.
We didn't see much of that before.
No.
We saw maybe a little push, but I think it wasn't even a push. I think it was more Vince McMahon using him to put others over.
To put Walter over.
Yeah, exactly. So, and now we see that Nakamura versus Ludwig Kaiser, also an amazing
that was a fun match. Yeah.
So that's back to back. That's the first maybe half an hour to SmackDown was pure wrestling and was 2 good matches. So I see the potential here. And as a wrestling fan, since I'm 6 years old, I would be lying to say I'm not a bit, maybe excited is not the right word, but enthusiast
Intrigued.
And yeah, definitely intrigued to see what's next. Definitely. But I'm a bit prouder than I was. You know, I work sometimes. I'm watching wrestling on one of the big screens, and some people like, hey, that's WWE. Oh shit, man, I haven't watched that in 20 years or whatever. And sometimes I would be not ashamed, but like, yeah, I still watch. You know, but
right. Ashamed.
now I got
ashamed, but you know, I'm doing the shamed look.
I'm in a podcast and talk about it.
But now
a podcast too. I don't know if I should mention that.
Well, actually, to be honest,
you should
again,
put it on your. You should.
A lot of times I say,
yes,
I should put it on my water bottle. But a lot of times I say, yeah, I watch all wrestling because I have a podcast and I gotta watch it. But now could say I'm watching it again for self-interest here. So yeah, Viking Raiders finally being booked the way they should be booked as monsters, machines, whatever you want. Even the comment
that was on Raw.
No, that was on SmackDown. And Pat McAfee says that they're the worst smelling guys. that they smell horrible because I guess they're sweaty and big, and so his thing is always saying. Even Pat McAfee looks like he has a weight off his shoulders, where he was always good, but now it feels like he has nobody in his ear, like telling him, like, you know.
Even Cole.
Oh, yes, Cole has even bigger.
I feel like. Yeah, Pat McAfee, I feel like always kind of just did whatever the fuck he wanted to at the same time.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't need WWE, so he just goes out there, has fun. Vince seemed to have liked him a lot. He was there with the bigger, higher ups for the UFC thing. Like, Pat McAfee doesn't give a shit. Cole, you really notice it though. Michael Cole, he's like he just like a kid in a candy store. He's all freaking excited, and you know, he feels like he's born again. You know what I mean, kind of thing, because he's just excited now because you don't have someone yelling at your ear for 2 hours. You know, you're scared to say every little thing. Yeah. So it's refreshing. It's good to see. And it seems like, you know, the general mood backstage too is a mood of, I guess, you know, just happiness and relief. So Vince definitely instilled a lot of just bad habits to be able to get people scared and all that. And, you know, just refreshing when, you know, you don't have to walk on eggshells at your workplace and you're given so many hours to that job. And, you know, it's always like you might be doing something wrong. So Michael Cole must be freaking thrilled.
Oh, yeah. And we know from Renee Paquette saying that Vince can be harsh on that in your little ear.
Right.
Can be very not aggressive, I guess, not aggressive, but very loud and very intimidating is the word I'm looking for. Yes,
intimidating, and he probably says some like stupid shit that wouldn't be tolerated if you heard it on TV or if in public and so on. I still can't wait to hear, hopefully, one of those live mics be leaked or something of Vince fucking talking to the commentator.
Wow,
like.
If that were to happen, that would be like, ooh, I think that would go viral instantly.
Instantly, for sure. I don't know if they would even have that anymore, but I mean, that would be fucking awesome.
How would that even come out?
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's recorded but I mean, it might not be recorded, but I don't know. Maybe the production has it presses, or something. You know what I mean?
I guess because the feed has to be there. Maybe it's not being recorded, but somebody could just press a button, record it, put it on a USB, and a few weeks later leak it to the press or to Dave Meltzer. If
this was thought of before, I'm sure Vince pissed off a lot of people, and you know, the people in the production truck too, or whatever have you. Maybe they have little. I don't know where it would be, but hopefully something like that is, you know, it's just a matter of getting caught. You don't want to get caught. If you're the only one that would probably have been able to have access to that, you're not going to do it because chances are you will get fucking sued because then they'll have proof that it could have only been you. So
yeah.
Still would be fucking awesome. Get sued for me. Go get sued for me, whoever you are. I want to hear it.
I'll start a GoFundMe page if you want for you.
That's it. We'll do it.
I have a question for you guys. If you guys were Triple H, what would be your 3 priorities product-wise?
Oh, well, it's to get the numbers, to get the viewership up. So you'd have to change obviously how the show, how you change the booking. It's because that's really what it's about, right? It's the issue is that not many people are watching. So
Yeah,
you would think that his job, he's there to kind of change people's perspective. So
because obviously
if it,
we'll never get back to the 5 million.
no, that's not, that's done. That's
Yeah,
done.
that era has done. I think if you can get Raw to a 2.5 and the SmackDown to a 3 million viewers, I think that would be good. I think like we
Right.
talked about before, definitely the third hour of Raw is definitely a priority for him to find a way to maybe change that. If you can't get rid of it, maybe change the maybe change the concept of Raw and have it another way around. Maybe the first hour, I don't know. Try to play with that a bit.
Or maybe the third hour is not. They maybe mention, hey, third hour we won't do Raw. We'll give you like a exclusive Broken Skull every Monday on the USA Network or something.
I don't know if you guys
know what I mean?
remember, but when the Attitude Era started, they did 1 hour of regular Raw, and in the second hour they called it the War Zone, where maybe they could do something like that, where it could be more.
Well, that's
like,
the
rougher,
plan, right? If you're gonna
tougher.
go PG, right? We heard about them going getting out of the PG era, so maybe
Right.
have that. Maybe have the third hour a bit more dark, a bit more pushy, a bit more edgier.
Yeah, because it's
type
10
of thing.
o'clock. That's your maybe
Yeah.
PG-14 hit. All right.
Yeah.
First 2 hours is whatever, PG, you're good. Last hour, that's probably when they lose the most people.
Yeah.
Then you just make it a little bit more vulgar. You get that edgy.
Maybe for the hardcore fans, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, why not?
That would be maybe
USA
a
still wants-
bloodier. You have one big match or a hardcore match or a ladder match. Have a bit more pushing the button there on the last hour. Maybe it would be a way to go if you can't really get rid of it because they paid for 3 hours, so they're gonna want their 3 hours of programming guaranteed.
My issue with WWE is that I'll find there's no story right now that interests me. Like there's stories that interest me, but there's nothing like really like. Okay, next week I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, but he's still in with Vince's storylines, right?
Yeah.
So it's still Vince's storylines that are there that he's slowly trying to get rid of and feeding it to something else. You got to give that time.
But he has now the storyline with Bailey, which on Raw, which to me is the main storyline, which I'm really happy about. But the storyline with the titles, the world title.
Well, that's where his hands are tied a bit because of Roman having both titles.
Clash.
Yeah, it's really hard for him. Not only does Roman have both titles, but Roman's working on a limited schedule, so you can't even work with that storyline you want to impose on it every show because he's not on every show. So that's a bit hard for him. But I like what they're doing with the Gunter storyline.
Yes, that's true.
Nakamura and Gunter should be one hell of a wrestling match.
That's happening on SmackDown?
No, it's Clash.
The Clash.
Clash. Okay.
I think that's an okay storyline. The tag team, I'm intrigued in the women's tag team tournament, how that will go, and will Sasha and Naomi come back? Because they're not in the tournament, right? They're not in the brackets,
right?
So will they have the winner of the tournament in the ring celebrating, and have Sasha and Naomi come back, have a face-to-face, and fight for their titles back? There's some stuff that we're like, it's fun to look into. Angelo, the Street Profits, we definitely seeing
that is interesting too. Yeah.
More and more the hints at Montez leaving, turning on Angelo, or the other way around, Angelo turning on Montez.
I see Angelo turning,
and that was a good match too, huh? Seth versus Angelo, by the way, on Raw.
Yes, I was.
That's also an interesting story. What's the other one? The Mysterios. We're finally going to see Dominic, unless there's a swerve, obviously. But we're seeing more and more that Dominic's going to turn on his dad and probably join the Judgment Day. We saw with the spear and him pushing Edge on Monday. Was it Monday?
Dominic wasn't even there, right?
No,
Dominic
he pushed.
just didn't show up.
He left. Like he was backstage with his dad, and then Edge came and like tried to apologize to him, and he pushed him, and then Ray's like, oh, but he's a good friend of mine. It's 20 years. He didn't do it on purpose. And then Dominic goes, I can't believe you're taking his side, and then he leaves. And then in the match at the end, that's when Rhea brings him back all bloodied.
Right
at the end of So that we're seeing Dominic gonna turn on his dad. Will we see Dominic versus Ray and at a pay-per-view down the line? I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
I still think it's too soon though to turn him.
Yeah. That's why I said down the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's way. You're completely right. It's way too soon. You wanna drag that out even and have people asking for that match.
Yeah. I have breaking news.
Look at that fancy pen that he has.
Go ahead, breaking news.
Yeah. Oh, breaking news with his fancy pen. You got a new pen? Is that the breaking news?
The Swarovski pen there.
PW Insider is reporting that Hit Row is going to be at Smackdown tomorrow.
Who's left in Hit Row?
Well, everybody but Swerve, I guess.
It's going to be Adonis and
what's the big fella? What's his name?
And Big Dollar.
Big Dollar. I said big fella.
They're gonna come as Hit Row. They're gonna be a tag team.
Oh man!
I don't know, man. Swerve made that though. I think
because he was the leader, but
in a while,
I don't know. But Big Dollar was.
Who was the woman?
What was her name again? I don't remember her name.
I don't remember.
But I think she was the greenest one out of the wrestlers. Big Dollar's a good wrestler and a good freestyler too. So
it's history.
Scripted. Pretty sure it was scripted.
Okay, I should have said rapper instead. You're right.
It's a great freestyler, but it was scripted.
You're right.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I haven't seen them in a hot minute, so I really don't remember much of them. I remember liking them. I just don't remember liking them because of the raps or liking them because of the rap.
Top Dollar.
So Top Dollar.
That's it. The Top Dollar. That's his name. Wow, that must be like that's a bit frustrating, actually, to be honest, because I really liked like the concept of the group before, and it's nothing. Swerve is doing pretty good in AEW, so it's not about that. But
right,
it would have been nice to have that seen through the whole gimmick of Hit Row, but. I guess we'll
maybe he'll rehire Velveteen Dream or some shit. He'll be like the. Well, I don't know if Velveteen Dream can necessarily rap, but he'd be a good wrestler.
He'd probably be a good. He'd be a good leader to.
He'd be a good leader, yeah.
For a tag team or something like that.
Maybe there's a spot for a white rapper with glasses and a scruffy beard.
Man.
Who knows?
With three letters in his name.
Hit Row Records every day. Let's go. Trips, call me. You know my number.
Yeah,
but you see, that's why I find that it's like they're bringing back a lot of, or potential. Like I'm not saying it's reported, right? It's not official, but that's why I find like if almost like they're bringing back a lot of this talent to get that pop and get that good feeling behind the company. That they might shoot themselves in the foot, and it's like, oh shit, what are we gonna do with all this talent? You know,
I think Trips had big ideas for them though back then.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he's bringing them back. I think it's because he knows what he wants to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Trips enough to know that he has a full-fledged plan, and what he saw was working in NXT. That Vince decided to can a bunch of people. He's like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm bringing these people back. People loved Dexter Lumis. He was kind of like a cult hero. He was being cheered and all that, but people loved his gimmick completely. All the fans enjoyed it and all that. So he's like, that's gonna make me money, and I know what I can do with him. Let's bring him back. You know what I mean? So I think that's the case. I'm sorry, Big Red. I kind of interrupted you too.
It's okay. If they start bringing more people back, I would love for Jim Storm to come back and put him back with Bobby Roode. You get your money and you have another tag team.
I don't think that's Triple H's style, though. I think that would be like I know Triple H did bring in James Storm, and he did come out on one NXT, and then we never saw him again
because he said he didn't want to stay in Florida.
Well, I know it's like the nostalgia. Whoop, the
nostalgia.
the nostalgia. Okay, I won't be able to say it, but that
nostalgia.
Piece, that nostalgia. Yes, thank you. That piece of nostalgia that we all want to see. Yeah, it would be nice to see Beer Money. I was going to say Beer Money Inc. Beer Money come back together. That would get a huge pop. Would it be sustainable in the long term? I don't know.
Well, they're not doing nothing with Bobby.
Yeah.
No, and now they've separated Dirty Dogs, right? So
there you go.
Yeah, but that was a tag team that was popular in a company that wasn't getting much ratings. So how many WWE fans are really gonna know who Beer Money is?
Well, yes, I understand what you're saying, but we have to understand something that we might.
I'm not
forget.
saying it's bad, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. Yeah.
But no, I was talking about for TNA and its ratings at that time. TNA was doing more than Raw is doing now.
And that was in Spike.
But Raw was doing much more. Also, they were also a lot less viewers than WWE, but they had more people watching their show than people are watching Raw now. I guess for the niche wrestling fan, like it would be great, crazy. It would be a crazy pop. A lot of people would pop in the arena at home. But like I said, I don't know if there's really story to tell in the long term for them. Like, listen, James Storm is over. I know Bobby's over 40 guaranteed, and I think James Storm is over 40 also guaranteed. I'm not sure about James Storm. I'm 100% sure about Bobby Roode.
He's gonna be up there.
So, I would love it. I saw that pass on. I think it was a podcast or something, or was it on a tweet that James Storm
like never this? Say never. Yeah,
James Storm is 45.
Okay, so that's
wow.
It. So
okay.
It's like if it would happen, it would be for a nostalgia run type of thing. But I don't see it. I don't see it in as being a long term.
Well, I mean, at the same time, though, they could even ask Impact, right? This is not Vince we're talking about. This is Trips and stuff. Hey, let's try to see if we can maybe get some of that footage from Impact, kind of give the fans a whole video package of their history, just so they can get the only WWE fans kind of involved into them, because they were a phenomenal tag team together too. So they know they could do well in the ring. Bobby Roode is already over. James Storm is entertaining as well. So if they can maybe set something like that up with talking to Impact, hey, let's get some of their footage. Let's give them a nice little video package. This is their history. Let's go. You know what I mean? They can easily do that too.
And the lines of communications are there because of what's her face when she came as the Impact champion. Mickie James. When she came in the Rumble as Impact champion. So I think there's a line of communication there for them to open this up. And why not? While we're at it, why not open that forbidden door and have him come as a special appearance? It would do wonders for TNA or for Impact. I mean, in terms of visibility, and it would get a huge pop for the WWE guys, people in attendance also. So with Triple H now, we can't really say that these things are impossible or they'll never happen. We just don't know we don't even really know what's Triple H's vision on Forbidden Door. We don't know if he's really protective of like Vince, or if he's open, because he was always what's good for business. And he always mentioned
he is. We do know his take on AEW, though, right? He always considered AEW legitimate competition with the NXT going against All Out on Sunday. Is that just, hey, whatever? We're two wrestling companies. Let's battle it out. Let's go. Or you know what I mean? Or was that just Vince like, screw AEW, do everything? You know what I mean? We don't know. But I would think that that Triple H rather kind of considers, hey, you're either within my family sort of ordeal, or you're not. You're kind of against us. But I don't know.
I definitely think that he sees AEW as competition.
I think he's also smart enough to realize that having another company that's successful is good for the industry in general.
Yeah.
And I think I'm fairly certain I've heard him say that in the past too.
Yep.
So
he said it about WCW and WWE.
Yeah.
That
so
WCW being at top made WWE better. So
Right.
But at the same time, has the WWE's mentality been so entrenched that it's almost like they're stuck in their own little bubble? You know, and like, yes, okay, fine, you might kind of cherry pick here and there, but I think at the end of the day, they're content being in their own bubble. You know?
I think so too. I don't think we would ever see, at least not for the foreseeable future, we would ever see a collaboration between AEW and WWE. That I don't think so. But I think he can use Impact because he knows that Impact is not competition. So I think he would be able to use Impact as leverage for visibility and for a pop. And I think in his head also it would help him in the competition because AEW has done that, and he's like, okay, they got a bit of recognition for opening their doors to other companies. Even though I think you saw more AEW wrestlers
on Impact.
Well, actually on Impact, yeah. Well, because Kenny was there every
week.
That's
Kenny,
right. Yeah. But then you also see every week now all these New Japan wrestlers on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's something to work there, and I think if Triple H is presented or has an idea, and calls somebody through a contact or somebody, I think he knows Scott D'Amore, calls him, and then something that's interesting is presented to him, I don't think he will refuse it just because he wants to stay in that bubble. I think it's something he might be interested in looking into.
If it's good for business.
If it's good for business. Yeah.
That's it. And I would just go get Moose. Bring Moose to WWE.
Well, I think Moose. I love Moose. I think he's.
I'm more into Deer. Never mind.
That's a Justin joke.
Ping.
That's a JLB joke there.
I just did that to see Jeff's face.
But yeah,
but in terms of your question though, like it's just like he's kind of doing it. He's kind of doing it though, right? He's changing up
that.
I was mimicking me. I was mimicking him, mimicking me. That's what I was doing.
Jesus.
Jesus has nothing to do with this. Yeah, he's kind of doing that in the sense that he's changing up the storylines. I think bringing back some of those popular NXT guys is the way to go as well. He's just kind of doing it. He's adding the more wrestling to it, changing out stupid things like not calling them wrestlers or belts or whatever, keeping it a little bit more freedom in terms of the script. So that's why my answer was kind of cheesy, because it's just kind of what he is doing as usual. That's facts, but even more so, it adds a little extra Parmesan cheese onto there with my answer, because it's what Trips is kind of doing now. That's it. I interrupted someone too as well.
It's like I said, it's the beginning stages. So it's like it's going to be interesting to see that, you know, regardless of whether he's head of creative, Stephanie and I'll go back to the podcast where it's like more Nick Khan is the business side of things, and Stephanie's more the wrestling related side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to be is there going to come a point where maybe Stephanie doesn't agree with something, but Triple H does? Is there going to be compromise? What's interesting to see is where the compromise is going to be, if there is some form of friction, because I don't see them agreeing on every little thing that Triple H says and does, you know.
Oh. And I don't know, but we never really. It never felt like there was a big love relationship between Nick Khan and Triple H, because as Nick Khan was coming in and having more and more power, we saw Triple H being stripped of more and more power.
Right.
Yeah.
So now that they're the only two left, and the guy on top that was, I guess, keeping everything together, I think, now is not there no more. Now it's the wife. But I think, yes, Nick Khan will take care of all the business and day-to-day business dealings with the shareholders, with the accountants, with the revenues and the profits. She's probably more into where are we gonna go, what the towns we're gonna do in the live pay-per-view. Where can we have this pay-per-view? Where can we have that pay-per-view?
More on the product itself.
On the product,
exactly. But definitely, I think there's a strong possibility eventually when those two are gonna bump heads. Triple H and Nick Khan.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen that they're not gonna agree, and that's gonna bring back a bit of that.
And the fact that Nick Khan has been really good in the sense, like, making money for the company. That's all the shareholders give a shit about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I mean, is he gonna politic his way to get more power and more influence that he already has? And on top of that, if the sale actually does happen, is it going to be a case where it's like, okay, Triple H and Stephanie goodbye, and Nick Khan's the one running the show? And he puts who he wants in those positions.
I mean, at this rate, I almost feel like you already had the highest, worst dictator you can possibly have, it being her father and his father-in-law. So I think when dealing with Nick Khan, at least for Triple H, it's just going to be kind of like, well, whatever, bro. Kind of, listen, I'm doing this. I'm helping the product. Look at what I'm doing. Talk to Steph. I think Triple H kind of lost interest as I think he already knows what's up with Nick Khan. I think he maybe sees Nick Khan has this attitude. He kind of ran things. And I don't necessarily think Trips is going to be going on that war against him in terms of who's got the bigger ego and so on and so forth to kind of ruffle feathers. I think he's there for the ride. He's going to do what he can. He's in the position where he can do a lot for wrestling and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I just think it's also going to be like, you know what? You're going to fucking sell it, man. I have enough money. We'll go do something else. We'll be good. We'll open up our own school or something if we want to, or whatever have you. Like, just fucking sell it. I think he's just there for the ride, and he's good. And Steph is kind of the same.
Because Nick Khan, don't forget, I think what was said that he was a sports agent, so he definitely knows how to. He definitely knows how to deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is kind of like what Triple H is doing. So if there is some form of conflict, that can be.
But
a pretty big power struggle.
He could be. He could want to, like you said, put himself in a bit of politics and try to backdoor himself into more power. But there's something we must keep in mind is the fact that the board of directors, at first, to find a replacement for Vince, they named Stephanie as CEO.
Right.
And then when Vince retired, Vince left Nick Khan and Steph as co-CEOs.
That's why I want to know why.
So that wasn't the board of the Nick Khan being CEO wasn't the board of directors' decision. It was a Vince decision that I guess left like that. But eventually, that's going to have to come up to a board vote, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Which Vince owns the majority of
the votes. Yes,
but he's not on the board of directors.
He's not on the board of directors. I know that's right. He's not on the board of directors, so he doesn't get a vote on the board of directors. He's going to get a vote on the shareholding votes if it comes down to that. Which I don't think for a CEO, I don't think it will come down to that.
Right.
But I'm just saying that we can't forget that this same board of directors named Stephanie as CEO when they needed a replacement, and not Nick Khan. Nick Khan was VP, not executive VP. Before he became co-CEO, president.
Right.
So he was president
or something.
Yeah. So I don't know if I think Stephanie has more power than we're giving her credit to. So.
Sorry.
Oh, geez, John, come on.
Sorry.
I think Steph has more power with the board of directors than we give her credit to. She's been around for a long time, and she's been in that part of the business aspect as COO. Yes, or was that Triple H? Well, anyways, one of her positions that she had.
It was Triple H, but she was in the board of directors for a hot minute too, right? She only stepped down, I think, like in April, because I guess she already knew what the fuck was going to happen. She's like, all right, let me get out of this. Let me do that. I'm going to shy away from the company because of family matters. And then a month later, boom.
So she's been around these guys.
Yeah. Not to like, take a whole lot of time on this, but I think this was all premeditated at the end of the day. I think they all kind of knew what was going to happen, that Vince was eventually going to step down. even though he said he wasn't. Fine. But I think this was all in the master plan, especially when the allegations started coming out. I'm fairly certain the conversations were had when these allegations were coming out, that it's like, okay, maybe a change is going to have to happen. This is the structure we might have. Now all that remains is how it goes forward.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe not planned. Like they worked us all on this. This all a work. But I think they did meet, or when they were together, and they did put together a contingency plan. Sure. If they saw this shit was about to hit the fan, they seen the investigation started in April, so they knew about this. They're okay. These are the possible outcomes. What can we do to be prepared for these outcomes? And that's very, very, very well possible. These are conversations that are had in the business world every day. So so you're never taken by surprise, and you're never taken with your pants down. No pun intended. So that's it. So I think maybe they planned for one of these things to happen, and in case these happens, this was the plan. It could very well be, but I still think Vince McMahon did like Nick Khan. So there's something there that Nick Khan, if Vince McMahon didn't give a shit about Nick Khan could get another job somewhere else.
Yeah,
very easily. He's known. He was a higher up at NBC before all this. So I think he's there because Vince wants him there. Now, the thing is that there's two ways to look at it, where Vince took care of all of this, took care of the business side and took care of the product side. Now he's trying to leave who he thinks can take care of both. And he thinks Nick Khan can continue the expansion of WWE as the company, and Triple H can take the company to another place creatively.
Yeah, product-wise.
Right? Product-wise. Yeah. So I think that's what him. He thinks so much of himself that he thinks you need two people to do what I did. You need two smart people.
Triple H also said it though.
Oh yeah, so even
Triple H also mentioned that as well, though, too. And look, at the end of the day, though, he did do a lot. This guy would do like 20-hour days. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we can't just brush that off as nothing. This guy was a legit workaholic. Oh Jesus, this guy was like legit a workaholic, right? So all he did was work, go to the gym, not sleep, da 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 da. So in retrospect, with Road Dogg doing the interview and saying that Road Dogg was saying that Vince, he couldn't keep up with Vince anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He just couldn't hack of being the writer on Smackdown and all this, and he's like, I can't keep up with Vince. He's a workaholic. So in retrospect, I do think it's a legitimate statement. Because all he did was live, breathe, and wrestling. He didn't give a shit about anything else. Whereas Trips has a family. Trips has this. Sure, he does what he needs to with wrestling, but at the end of the day, he's going to go home and take care of family stuff. That's maybe why Linda and Vince never worked, right? They're still together, but never, you know what I mean? Who knows how long they've been separated for.
Well, let's not forget his health issues, too. He might be fine now, but I mean,
Triple H,
yeah.
He might not want to push himself too hard. Knowing what he knows about his heart and stuff, guaranteed,
right?
Guaranteed. So, like everything's coming back together. Like something that we thought was good, and then all of a sudden they swerved. Well, not they swerved, but they changed with like the Judgment Day. Right, Edge didn't want to have these superpowers, right? That they were gonna put into the Judgment Day. So bang, then we find Judgment Day stale for like a month and a half, them not knowing what to do with Judgment Day, and now bang, Judgment Day is back with a bang, and no superpowers.
Right.
Oh shit!
For
no
now.
Superpowers.
For now.
So for now. But we know that's the type of things that get Vince excited, these supernatural things, and but bang, now Judgment Day are back. All three of them are here. They're actually in a good feud. They actually have a good story, which is I was wrong, and I'm I'm here to admit that I was wrong. I thought Finn Balor was the leader to Judgment Day, but JLB was right. There is no leader. They seem like
they're still saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're fighting as a unity and not with somebody leading them. So I enjoy what I'm seeing so far from the Judgment Day. I enjoy that story, like I said before. Now that's involving Dominic and involving Ray. Plus Finn and Edge also got me excited too. I think that can be a fire match.
That would be a fun match. Yeah.
So everything is good. Seth, they're keeping Seth relevant. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I wouldn't go like, I'm so happy they're finally doing something with Judgment Day. More maybe I give a shit a little bit more about it, but I still am not all like, oh my God, I need to see them. You know what I mean? Like,
but
yeah,
the best is still ahead for them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Even though there's no definitive leader of the group, at the end of the day, if anyone's going to really pay attention to them, it's going to be because Finn Balor is a great wrestler. His work is great. You know, and Rhea Ripley's, pretty good too.
Yeah.
So they might storyline wise position it that, okay, we don't have a leader. But let's face it, if anyone's gonna give a shit about that faction, it's because Finn's there. The same way anyone cared about it because Edge was there. What are your thoughts on this?
Right.
About what?
About the subject you're talking about.
Okay, sorry.
Nick Khan and who's running this? Yeah, I see these little things. It's hard because it's so much little details that make it better that it's hard to like talk about everything. But just the fact of having Seth on with basically no story, but have him on every show and have him wrestle one hell of a match on every show. Which technically you have him on not the shelf is the wrong way to go, but you have him there on the side of the show having these great matches. But that's just to keep him so he could be still fresh and the Seth Rollins, the freaking
stay relevant.
Stay relevant, that's it, for when Cody's back. And they're keeping Cody relevant by having once in a while, maybe not every single show, but close, having him do something of some sorts, or a video package, or him doing something, having there.
Was that this week, or are they doing that next week? Next week, right? Of Cody coming back?
Can I just say,
yes.
I think it's next week. I think you're right.
You could say.
For the first time in a long time, they were actually talking about WWE for an hour. So they're doing something good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's still just a lot news there too. Yes, we are talking about them in a more positive light, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. We probably got to get to AEW soon because CM Punk is back.
Who? No, I'm joking. Yes.
I'm so excited.
Chick Magnet is back.
Chick Magnet.
Where the hell did that come from?
That's what CM stands for.
Oh, okay.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There you go. Learned something new.
Okay, but we can jump to AEW because AEW still nonetheless has been also pretty great in its own story there, I guess.
Right.
What'd you guys think about Dynamite in like general last night?
I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I really liked it. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it really starts what AEW does for me that really gets me excited.
Starts right away.
It starts off with a bang right away.
Yeah.
And Brody Darby was a great match.
Phenomenal.
Great
way to end it too. That's the same thing he did to Darby, choking him out, and Darby did the same thing.
Letting him fall into the coffin. Yeah.
Are we going to see Sting turn?
No.
He's got the whole black eye thing, the mist.
No.
That'd be
so
kind
far,
of
everybody
cool,
that's
man.
been
It'd
missed,
be like NWO Sting, right? It'd be kind of like what back in WCW where he was a heel.
Wait,
Sting.
hold on. NWO Sting was not the real Sting.
Was he? Yeah, but at some point he was. No,
there was
no.
two
The Wolfpack
Stings.
was the real Sting. Yeah,
There was two Stings. They had the NWO Sting and they had
the Wolfpack
Sting as we see him now.
But to play devil's advocate and to help out JLB here a bit, everybody that has been hit with the mist has eventually turned.
No.
Well, no.
Only
Pac
Julie.
did it.
Julie. Pac didn't.
Pac
There
did
was other
Pac
people
too.
that
Pac didn't, 'cause
Miro
she fucked
didn't.
that first.
Yeah, Miro got hit with the mist. Yeah.
Oh no, so it's the opposite. She's the only one that got that turned,
She's
right?
the only one. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking still back before.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe not that he turns heel, but he branches away from Darby a little bit, where Darby kind of is able to, not that they're feuding against each other, but that maybe like I think it was good putting him with Darby's so he Darby can get that rub off of Sting, like
Right.
that big name status, where it's like, oh shit, Darby Allin's with Sting. Oh wow, like let's see this. Where now I think he's established himself pretty well, much like Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks getting away from the tag team. I think
Yeah.
is good to really see where he goes from there, and maybe if Sting kind of branches away a little bit and put him into a different. I mean, listen, he's not going to wrestle. He's going to have to be in some form of a tag team,
Mhm.
But
he needs to be
it's
Or
protected.
mentor someone else who might need help. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, as well, or something.
yeah,
Mm.
that's it's like we said before. I mean, it's for a company that's only been around for barely 3 years, it's a really good sign. Where they're
Or can
going
Sting
towards-
can Sting even, like, would you guys see, or would you guys be interested or intrigued by Sting in the House of Black?
No,
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 No.
I don't see that happening.
because I think the way what I really like about it, especially, is their promos. Like Malachi,
Yeah, Malachi.
Malachi Black's promos are just it's very almost Raven-esque, where it's very low key, drags you in. It's soft spoken. You understand the message he's giving you, and even Brody's not a big promo guy, but it just fits together. So Sting might kind of push focus away from that, because it's like what
Yeah.
purpose is he going to really serve? So I think no, don't touch House of Black, keep them as is.
If they did anything with Sting, I would. Well, the way I would put it, I would make him more like when he started the white paint, like stay up on the roof, and come in, come out.
Just very like a drifter. That's why I kind of
drifter.
maybe think he would work
Yeah.
in the House of Black. He won't necessarily be a big part of it in terms of the promos. He'll just kind of be in the background, like how what's his face is, Matthews is, kind of thing, right? I don't know. Like I maybe then seeing a heel Sting might be kind of cool.
Or they bring the Joker Sting back.
No,
I don't think that's.
I think that was the worst part of Sting.
Really?
I liked it. No, I liked
it.
I like that.
He's
But it's just
correctly.
but it's just the way the House of Black is made. It's like it's good. Don't screw it up.
No, but I'm
I
not saying like
Yeah.
I'm saying if he did that, I wouldn't put him on the House of Black. I would just put it separately. Like he got like that something did something happened to him that he doesn't want to deal with Darby. He wants to be himself, and he just snaps and then you just don't see him for a couple of months.
When you say Joker Sting, you're talking about like the colorful paint and
the cracker.
I think that was when JLB was out of wrestling there for a while. When Sting had the Joker face paint.
Yeah,
on.
when he
had the rivalry with Hogan in TNA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So not like the WCW old school Sting.
No.
Okay.
Justin.
I didn't watch Impact. I don't know.
He was.
He's not gonna go back to 1995 Sting. Come on.
He was like a Joker.
Imagine.
And the Riddle.
Never mind, man. The colorful Sting bag
with the tights and the.
I want to see the bleached blonde hair. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was his theme song, but it's okay.
It was Metallica, wasn't it? One of his theme songs?
No.
I've been watching. That's something I wanted to say, because I've been watching a lot of the biography legends.
Yes,
and I haven't caught up yet.
And the rivals.
Amazing.
AEW, A&E.
I just skipped the Bellas so far.
A&EW.
Yeah, A&E have this other show called Rivals.
Yes,
right.
Where they document a rivalry each week, and usually it's like a panel with Freddie Prinze Jr. at the head of the panel, and then they have either Tamina, Cody,
Nash.
and then Kevin Nash and JBL. Have there, and then they comment the story, and those shows are very well. And surprisingly, because these are all executive produced by Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon, but surprisingly, Sting is on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's a lot obviously on the Lex Luger one, obviously.
Luger, Angle.
Yes, he's a lot on the Angle also.
How
yes.
was the Luger one?
Oh, it was good.
Very
I think it was the one I was least wanting to watch, but it's the one preferred.
Okay.
It's the one I preferred the most until now.
He has had a 360 in life, like.
Who, Lex Luger?
Well, he doesn't have a choice. I mean, the guy got he went through the down in the dumps. He ended up getting paralyzed.
It's how he got paralyzed. It's fucked up.
Right. Yeah.
But as far as the Sting thing, like what you were saying, is they own 90% of his footage.
Who's this?
No. Yes,
like
obviously,
WWE.
no. To show WCW tapes, yes. But I mean, to have him with no face paint on and talking, where he's discussing the Luger's career and when they got there and when he appeared on the last day on a house show.
They were close. They were really
they were best friends.
They're still close.
Yeah, they're still close. Yes, and he's
They're
basically
brothers.
there talking, and it's a WWE show because technically, yes, it's an A&E show, but it's tagged everywhere WWE. It's executive produced by WWE guys, and to have him there, I guess obviously they're in good terms because he didn't leave in bad terms when he left after that. It's just they didn't think their doctors didn't want him to wrestle anymore, didn't want to clear him to wrestle anymore, and he wanted to end it on his own terms. But I mean, I'm just saying that to see all these, and they're not the only one. Ric Flair talks a lot in it too. So there's and it's very, very well done, very well produced. The Kurt Angle one,
just specifically on A&E though, right? I can't get these off the network at all.
Yes, you could go on A&E. Well, actually,
but I can't get them off the network though, is what I'm saying.
No.
No, the network.
A&E
No.
exclusive.
You could go on A&E.com, and but I'm not sure if now that I'm thinking about it, since I have a VPN, I'm not sure if it would be available to Canadian.
What's funny about that? What's funny about that?
Just snitch it out. Just snitch it out everywhere. You don't snitch yourself, is all I'm saying.
So I don't know, maybe because they're thinking I'm in the States, and that's why I was allowed to watch it on A&E.com.
Yeah,
maybe that's the case.
We catch A&E on the TV.
Yes, but sometimes they don't offer the same the same things on the show on the website. Oh. That's why I'm not sure, because they were probably seeing me my IP address as the United States, and that's why I had access to all of them. But you only have access to the legends.
Snitched yourself.
Okay.
It's not illegal to have a VPN.
No, it's legal to have a VPN. What would be frowned upon? It would be to get into websites under a different that I would under other circumstances not have access.
Yeah, but you like the JLB like giggling over there because someone is saying that they have a VPN. Like, you know.
And
it was a joke.
I'm gonna have the FBI. I'm gonna have the FBI raid in my house.
An older Caillou over here.
I'm subscribed to HBO Max. Oh shit, I'm not supposed to because I'm using a US VPN.
The rivalries are also very interesting.
Well, rivals I think are shorter. They're half an hour shorter, but they're on fire. Brock versus Kurt,
amazing,
is fire.
Even Austin and the Rock one.
Austin Rock one, and obviously
did they do Sting and Ric Flair?
No, not yet. They did. The first one was Shawn and Brett.
Yeah. Then it's The Rock Austin.
Yeah.
And Brock versus Kurt. And the last one.
Did you learn anything from Shawn and Brett? I feel like
that's what I was about to say. Shawn and Brett is a lot of stuff we've seen already. Yeah.
It's so interesting that
way of making it.
And they also did Taker and Kane.
It's true.
I would like to see Sting and Ric Flair because that's a feud that lasted not just 1, 2. We're talking about decades.
But actually, they talk about. I think they talk about it in one of the post shows. I think it's called Smack Talk, and I think they mentioned this. What's Ric Flair's biggest rivalry?
Steamboat
or Sting?
Oh, I want to say Sting.
I'll say Steamboat.
It was pretty even on the panel about what it is, and to be honest, I'm not sure because Steamboat.
I think work rate, because I mean you have to understand work rate. It's like Flair was in his prime when he's wrestling Steamboat.
Right.
So not the in the early to late '90s when he was wrestling Sting, you ask Ric Flair and Ric Flair will say Sting, and he has said it before. Especially that not that he will shit on
Steamboat.
No.
He wanted Steamboat. He wanted
to be the last match.
To be in the last match. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I guess it's because of the Iron Man matches with Steamboat that we have more of these of a big show, big matches between them two, because that first Iron Man match was fucking gold. I think out of the three,
wasn't born at this time.
Out of the three that they document in these,
you guys weren't either, but y'all watched it, so.
Out of the three Iron Man matches were 60 minutes. We're talking about not the AEW Iron Man matches, but the real Iron Man matches. Out of the three they documented on A&E, which is Steamboat, Flair, they talk about Brock, Kurt. That was on a SmackDown. It's a lot forgotten because it was on a SmackDown.
It was supposed to be on a Mania.
Yeah, and then obviously the Bret Shawn Michaels. I think those two are better than the Bret Shawn Michaels, which is the one that's probably the most talked about Iron Man match.
Yeah,
right.
But Brock and Kurt, my God, it gave me goosebumps watching that show, that I had to go back and try to find it. I found it on YouTube, but you know how they do on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be snitching on myself again, but
what country were you tricking your internet provider? Let's make sure.
I
didn't realize we had a co-host in India. God damn.
But how on YouTube it's really zoomed in. I guess because they don't get caught like that. I guess by putting it on
exactly.
on
Yeah,
YouTube.
they just edited, so yeah.
Yeah, it's really zoomed in.
Sometimes they make it backwards, or they mirror it, or they up the speed of it. Yeah.
And I went back to watch that Brock Kurt Iron Man match. That's probably one of my favorite matches in WWE. Definitely. It was like very.
That
good.
was the one on SmackDown.
Yeah, that was the one on SmackDown, and really, they really go all out in the beginning. Maybe the first 20 minutes, they really go all out on the amateur wrestling. But it's like back and forth, and it's like they're really trying to outdo one another. I think that was a shoot.
Ric Flair and Sting had one too, if I'm not mistaken, that kind of really broke Sting out as a character. That's why I kind of always lean towards that feud being really interesting, because that's a feud that, like, Ric Flair broke Sting. He brought him on a whole completely different level.
Weren't they the last match on Nitro's history also? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. So there's definitely a big, huge history, and I think even if you would ask, if you'd asked Flair, he would probably say Sting.
I think
if you'd ask Sting, he would probably say Flair too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's not gonna. I mean, he's feuded with Hogan, Vader. He's feuded with. Yeah, he's gonna say he guaranteed. Yeah, guaranteed.
Well, I mean, him versus Flair is probably like top 3.
If anyone has
for sure.
If anyone has the network, you should go check out Sting and Flair at the first World War III pay-per-view. Ric Flair's just chasing him around, and he's going into different rings, having Ric Flair. It was just funny to see, but it's just that every time those guys have gotten together, it's been a good match.
Oh, their last match technically was an Impact.
Oh yeah, they wrestled at Impact. Who was going to wrestle Hogan for control of the company? Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't remember
trying to
that
check
Impact
if
one.
they had an Iron Man match.
You remember there was when Hogan and Sting wrestled for control of Impact? You remember?
Yeah, that I remember that story.
Yeah, I think leading up to that, Sting had to beat Ric Flair to get to Hogan.
And this was after his retirement match with Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah.
His run in TNA.
Yeah.
He needed the money.
Yeah.
I think one of the best. I think I've mentioned it on this podcast before, but I think one of the best segments I've ever seen on Impact was Jay Lethal and Ric Flair going back and forth.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
And they the Impact Twitter feed posted it every once in a while because they know too it gets a lot of reaction.
Jay Lethal, when he was on Talk Is Jericho,
they had planned it that like that, but it was perfectly
he
done.
talked about it, and when he imitates Ric Flair, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, it's really
Jeff,
good.
I'm curious. Did you watch the one between Sting and Ric Flair when Ric Flair was being the Black Scorpion?
Yeah, that's early 1990, 1991 in WCW.
Yeah, like it was Starrcade 90.
Yeah.
1990. Shit,
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
That's why I like watching on Peacock. Ah, shit. Damn, sorry. Yes, I use a US VPN.
Oh, you watch it on Peacock? How do you do that, Jeff?
Shit, damn it. Justin, why did you have to bring that up? But
I'm really interested how you do that.
Yeah, no, don't have the FBI raid the offices of Wrestling Talk now.
Raid JBL's house, just not ours. But
go raid JBL. Fuck Bradshaw.
Yeah. What? Oh,
yeah, because
you didn't say JLB. One fucking show.
Oh, okay, JLB. Sorry. Yeah, whatever. So anyhow, I like going back on seeing on Peacock that it's on demand because like the WWE network that we get here in Canada is whatever it's being played. But seeing it on Peacock and being able to go back and watch some old classic WCW matches.
But you can do that on the network, no?
You could do that on the network online.
Yeah, online. That's right. Yeah.
Not on your TV, but on your TV.
No, definitely not on your TV. No, that's valid.
Which that sucks.
And their casting technically sucks on the network. If you try to cast off the network, it's very
to put it on your smart TV.
Yeah, it's very fidgety sometimes, and it gets kind of silly. But yeah.
Going a bit on track. What do you guys think of the Lionheart?
I loved it.
Cool.
I thought it was just. He really brought it back very nicely. I love that Lion Tamer. I think that Lion Tamer is so much better.
Lion Tamer?
Tamer? Is it not Tamer?
Lion Tamer.
Tamer?
Tamer.
That's what's the difference. That's what I really like the fact that he came out clean shaved with the with
I think I have hearing issues. I think this is my problem.
And Lion Tamer. What the fuck is a Tamer?
Lion Tamer.
With the vest and the tights, but But can somebody explain to me what's the difference between the Lion Tamer and the Walls of Jericho?
The Lion Tamer, he's not completely turned around.
Boston Crabs.
Walls of Jericho is probably just a WWE thing.
No, I get the name. Yes, that they reinvented the name, but I mean because I see him sometimes do it differently. I see him do it differently sometimes.
It's more his leg. Yeah, his leg is more on spot.
It's more of a crab than that.
Yes, because the Boston Crab, he just sits on the back and he thinks that's Then I've seen him do it recently is when he just like the neck, he just turns just a bit, and that's more of the old school. Okay, you just wanted to put that out there, but that was a hell of a match. I really enjoyed him saying everybody thinks that Stu Grayson was how does he say a happy, good little old man. No, he was a what do you call him, a sadomasochist? Like when you like beating up people.
Are you talking about Stu Hart, not Stu Grayson?
Yeah, he was saying.
I said Stu Grayson. Oh, sorry.
I mean, poor Stu Grayson. Leave the guy alone. He got fired.
I meant Stu Hart. Sorry. Yeah, Stu Hart's he's not a little nice old man. He's a sadomasochist, and he would enjoy beating the shit out of you. And I'm gonna enjoy stretching the fuck out of you.
Shit out of you.
Yeah, that was good. It was a very good match, but. And the fact that he ripped the earring off right away at the beginning, like that was ow.
Yeah,
like, that was ow.
That was ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Don't you love it about Chris Jericho that no matter the guy's in his 50s, he's able to reinvent himself and really keep himself relevant no matter what he does, promo wise, whatever gimmick, whether it's the Painmaker. Now going back to the Lionheart Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
No. This guy he's magic. I'm sorry, but he is.
He is. And his promo that he did.
Anything. Jack of all trades, master of all of them. He could literally do anything. He's a rock star. He's the Painmaker. He's Mr. Y2J, Y2K. He's the Wizard. He's, you know what I mean? He's everything. And the champion and whatever the fuck else he
could be a technical wrestler. He could be a violent, hardcore wrestler. He could be a high flyer. It's incredible. Incredible how he gets himself to always remain relevant.
relevant.
That's what it's. Yeah, you reinvent yourself, but you gotta in your reinvention, you gotta make it relevant. You gotta get people to like it, and every time it works. And now apparently he's gonna be diving more into this Lionheart side of himself.
Good.
So I don't know what that puts, because that's what he put on Twitter after the match. But where does that leave the JAS there a bit?
I think
the Wizard,
there,
right?
Though. I think he'll maybe still be there, or unless they turn on him.
Because what he says in the Twitter I'm going to read it so I don't talk out of my ass. But
would you like to share it on
he calls himself a wrestler there, and wrestler in all caps. And we know he's using the gimmick right now of sports entertainer.
Right.
So
I guess
could it be like you just said, they're ready to bring him back babyface and have them turn on him?
I guess the galaxy is going to be over.
Yeah, but I think I love the way they're doing, and to have what's his face, Daniel Garcia beat Bryan Danielson, and to say I'm the greatest technical sports entertainer. Like, there's a story there.
Talking about that match next week is going to be fire. 3 out of 2 falls.
That was a good way to put Daniel Garcia over too.
I
mean, it doesn't hurt Bryan Danielson in one way
nope.
or shape or form. So.
No, exactly.
No, and it really gives that extra oomph to Daniel Garcia.
The oomph.
I can't find, but anyways, he calls himself a wrestler, so I think the door is open there for a turn for Chris Jericho. But we see. Hey, how about that tornado tag match though?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's
Andrade and Rush.
Yeah, and Roosh.
Who? Roosh
versus Lucha Bros, and I think this is where Lucha Bros are much more comfortable, is in a tornado tag match.
Well, they're used to it with the AAA and everything. So,
because they already don't respect the tag. So you might as well, unless it's for a title, you might as well always put them in a tornado match, because this was unbelievable. And to have and I'm happy also to see Penta move back into his Penta El Zero gimmick and a bit leave the Obscuro behind. But this match was nonstop back and forth. I think they're much more comfortable in this kind of environment, and I'm okay with Roosh and Andrade winning. So that means we're going to get to see more of them.
And they're going to be in the trio tournament too.
Oh yes, with who's their partner?
Rush's brother. Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee. Wow, brother. That's a sick trio, man. That against Dead Triangle will be fire. You
think it would be Pac? Is the Death Triangle still a thing? It's still Pac and the
so.
Yeah, they're
it's probably not just like emphasized very much, but yeah, I think they're still a thing.
But I think they're in the brackets.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I'm checking.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw that last night.
Because I posted it. Yeah, here we go. It's Death Triangle versus Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay's fucking trio.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Wait, who? Will Ospreay? Who?
Will Ospreay.
Ospreay.
And who's the two partners?
His team there. His team.
Aussie Open. No.
Yeah, Aussie Open.
Okay. So
yeah,
that
and
should be really interesting.
Roosh is the guy. The Roosh is fighting against the Young Bucks and their third partner, which I said it's gonna be Omega.
Yeah. I think that's where
they wanted. Given.
Yeah. I think that's where they wanted to go with this whole segment with the Bucks and Hangman Page this week.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we know of anyone else with Young Bucks, that they were pretty big with the Young Bucks with all someone else.
Unless someone comes from New Japan.
Unless it's Kota Ibushi.
Well, I just don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, he did mention though.
Exactly.
Tweet,
Cody.
Right?
Cody. It's
Cody. Could be Cody. No.
Cody.
It's definitely not Cody.
Cody.
Well, Ibushi has been mentioning on Twitter his desire to wrestle all these guys and to come here to North America. So with the differences he had in New Japan, I don't know if he was able to get his release, and maybe that's a thing. But we also heard rumors that Kenny is ready to come back, so it would make sense that would be Kenny.
Right.
Because from what we saw last week, we thought, oh, Hangman comes out to help the Bucks. Oh,
Yeah.
I think we know who our trio is going to be. And then this week, Hangman put them back in their place by saying, guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate what we've been
you
through.
weren't there for me at the end
But
of it.
exactly. You guys didn't even come out and congratulate me when I won and everything. But he also did say that he wasn't going to be part of the Dark Order trio.
Right.
He just said he was going to be on there, like, cheering them on, kind of.
Yes,
thing.
exactly. That he will be only cheering them on. So I don't know. There's still a possibility, but I think what they're going with is Bucks and Omega versus end up being Adam Cole and Red Dragon.
And I think they're just playing it safe with that, right? Because if Omega for some reason can't make it for All Out, then they could just put Paige back in, because he literally mentioned that he wasn't. They have exactly. Because it's definitely not going to be Brandon. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, really? It's not?
Definitely not going to be Brandon. Cut the camera, Brandon.
Question,
but it's a good storyline though. They're doing this one good. The romantic storyline, love story, I guess. More
Adam Cole is not in the bracket.
Who's with Red Dragon?
They're not in it.
They're not in it?
No, it's
because aren't half of them like injured? Like 2/3 of them are injured anyway.
Because what I see here is
it's not Bobby Fish. I think it's Bobby Fish who's injured. No,
it's,
didn't look injured last week throwing those kicks.
Yeah,
oh no, the other guy.
It's the other.
Oh, Kyle O'Reilly. Okay.
Kyle O'Reilly and
Adam
Cole.
Because Adam Cole just threw a super kick. That's the only thing he threw.
That's it.
During that attack last week. It was more Bobby Fish throwing the beating there. Mm-hmm. A bit Kyle O'Reilly, but now that you mention it, he was a bit more to the side on that. I'm really surprised they're not in it because I was listening to a podcast before, and they were kind of like shopping that final.
Because on the other side of the bracket, it's the House of Black versus Dark Order, and then you have the Best Friends versus Trust Busters.
The Trust Busters. Oh no, Davari is a trust fund, and now they're busting it.
No, I mean, well, and that's with the Brock Lesnar guy. What's his name? Bordeaux something? Bourgeois?
Oh yeah, but Bordeaux. Yeah, the guy who's supposed to be the next Brock Lesnar.
He's gonna be on Rampage, by the way.
Oh, fighting?
Yeah, against Sunny.
Oh,
Sunny Kiss?
Yeah, that won't end in the
I thought you were
squash.
talking about the female Sunny.
No, Sunny. I think she's in jail. No. For the 20th, 5th, 5th, 6th, 7th time.
Yeah.
She's definitely at some kind of bar. I'll tell you that much.
Or bend over somewhere.
So this match, what, 2 minutes? Maybe 2 minutes is too much. 1 minute and 5 seconds, probably.
It's just going to be a Wardlow squash.
Boom, 44 seconds.
I say 25. It's going to be longer than the Bianca and Becky.
We're getting in Diva matches territory here. Yeah, and I feel bad for Sunny when his contract is over, he will want to get the fuck out of there.
Well, I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. I think he does a lot of stuff in the back, though. I know. I'm not sure if he wants to be called a he or a she per se. Yeah, so my apologies.
But no,
but
I think he made it clear at the beginning. I think he's just
homosexual. Is that WCW?
So I think he's a he. I think it's a he him.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think it's he.
Jeff, is that
Either
WCW?
Yeah, that's the Sting versus
it is
from World War III.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. One job.
Hey, Rice, I just see bright white in the shape of a guy, okay?
He does wrestle a lot on Dark and Dark Elevation. I don't know if he is helping backstage. I know Christopher Daniels has a big role backstage. I know some of them do have a kind of this kind of role backstage. I would like for Sunny to be more than just like, I'm not saying that Sunny would be a superstar or anything like that. I'm just saying that the only time we see him on Dynamite or Rampage is to get like a mad beating, or a mad squash or something like that. And if you're not going to use him, and if you don't think he's of value to your company, then just release him. Let him go to do his thing in the indies, where he might get more of a niche following, and where it might be more profitable for him. But maybe not more profitable, but more enjoyable. Yeah.
I mean, who knows, right? They've been there since the beginning. I think it's more if Khan still wants to keep him. I think is more of a thing. He's
but
still getting money.
But I think Tony is like really starting to change a little bit his maybe I get the feeling his perception of where he wants to go with the company too. Whereas before, I think it was just like, okay, let me try to get as many indie guys, or he was taking a lot of feedback from the EVPs that are no longer there anymore. And even let's say as far as booking is concerned, I think he's kind of delegating a lot to other people, which is a good thing too, even for him, because for him to be able to be booker, producer, this and that, he's going to end up, on top of it, he's the general manager for Fulham. In England,
technical director,
the Jaguars, and it's just like True TV. So I mean, it's a lot of hats to wear for one guy,
Now ROH too, with ROH trying to get a TV deal with them and everything for them. So
I'm getting a headache just of changing all those fucking titles, man. That's too much on one person's plate. Thankfully, but do we know who's helping him right now or anything? Because I don't recall.
Well, they mentioned last week, right? The new hires. Well, not the new hires, but the moving around of personnel.
Right.
So, well, I think that was for talent relations, though, wasn't it? With Sanjay Dutt and all that. Yeah. That was to help Christopher Daniels, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing about booking, about creative, but and more of these positions where it takes a bit off the workload from him.
Well, he might have a lot more input. He might take a lot more input from other people, though.
Oh yeah.
If he's already making these moves where he's delegating other jobs to other people, he might be bringing more people in to his booking and taking, like Chris Jericho has said many times that he kind of gives his input and stuff like that. Jim Ross gives it, so
Yeah, there's some guys backstage. I don't know what's happening since Cody left with Arn. If Arn still has that much power or pull backstage.
I think so. He's a coach. He's still a coach, and you're not gonna want to get, regardless of whether Cody's there or not. You're not gonna want to get rid of a guy has so much knowledge of the business and help out young people. Now,
I know QT got a promotion.
Yeah.
So he was already in charge of development, I think it was, and now he's actually he deals with the talent on Dynamite and on they're kind of like the. I guess the in between the talent and Tony, I guess that would be because we also heard from not multiple, but a couple, I would say, of AEW wrestlers that there's also a hard time to have communications with Tony Khan.
He's the oak tree.
And like Jeff just mentioned, all these things that he has to do, all these titles, I understand the guy's not always available for you. You get to the arena or whatever Dynamite is at. You get there. Some people get there really early, but let's say you get there around noon. You have 8 hours before you go on the air, and sometimes in that 8 hours, fucking Tony has other shit to take care of, man. And
building concerns and stuff like that.
And you want to talk to Tony, but Tony's not available, and you need to have for the employees to feel like they can talk to somebody. So to have somebody there where they can reach out and maybe later on. Gets to Tony, I think helps out a lot in to manage all this, because now it's not only at the beginning, to get back to Sunny Kiss, at the beginning you were just hiring, you needed the talent because you needed to put together matches, and you didn't have all this talent, so these Joey Janela's, these Sunny Kiss and all these type of wrestlers, well then you hired them, but then when after you started, other guys were available or interested to come to your company, now you have less time for these other less relevant or less popular is more of an accurate word, less popular wrestlers to do their stuff.
Right.
I'm sorry. Now we got no more space for you. And maybe Joey Janela's place is not on a top tier wrestling promotion. Maybe he's made to be that guy on GCW and Independence. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the perception too, a lot, especially in the early days, was that it was a glorified indie show.
Yeah.
AEW. So the more and more, fine, Jericho was there. That's an exception. Then you bring in, but the thing is that when you start bringing in Moxley, then you bring in guys like Miro and CM Punk and Danielson. These are established names. You have to start changing the perception of the company. You have no choice. If you want to stay relevant in the business, you have no choice.
You don't want to be, and Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff are these some of the things I don't agree with all of their criticisms on AEW, but this is one that I do agree on is the casual fan versus the niche hardcore wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And if you want to go get that casual fan, sometimes you need to go around that hardcore fan, that like the guys, the marks, not us because we're not really marks. Some people say we love wrestling, it means automatically you're a mark.
Oh, I know someone on this that's a hardcore mark.
Oh yeah, who?
I know.
Is he the man of the hour?
He might be a man of some sort of hour.
Explain to me why.
Oh my God! Okay. SummerSlam is a new era.
Okay, no, SummerSlam. A photo of Bailey.
Brag on you guys. Oh, last week you lucky.
A photo of Bailey goes up. New era has begun. I'm like, whoa.
SummerSlam was a 4 stars in my opinion. Okay,
Mark.
I like SummerSlam too, and we can be excited. I guess watching it, we can be excited too. Because what the product we've watched for so long, and that we've been disappointed. Because to be fair here, Jonathan has probably been one of the hardest on WWE product in the last year. Before this, so to be excited now that what you used to love and starting to hate is starting to become more what you like. I understand you get excited, but
getting back
to the marks and the smarks.
Yeah. We've been here though, right? Like we know we say that it's just because I think obviously he's allowed to think whatever he wants to think.
I wear the mark hat proudly.
Like he jumped. I feel like he maybe jumped the gun a bit, in like like what we were saying last week. Maybe just give it a little bit more time. Obviously, people are allowed to feel how they want to feel. That's fine.
Yeah.
But in reality, though, SummerSlam, aside from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, like the first match and the last match, everything in between was all right. But
all right.
What?
Well,
the women's match, great.
Well, great.
What was so fascinating about the middle, aside from Logan Paul doing a frog splash? That was cool.
That was a very good match.
That was a very good match.
I mean, it was a good match. It wasn't a very good match.
It was the best celebrity match.
It was a very good match.
Best celebrity message.
Yeah.
The best celebrity match I'll give you.
The tag match was on.
Tag match was good. Yeah.
The tag match was good too.
There was no bad match in that card.
But they were okay. They were good. They weren't like, oh my God, it's a new WWE. You know what I mean?
They were fabulous.
New era has begun.
New era. It wasn't new era has begun worthy. You know what I mean? Like it's not the best pay-per-view of the year.
No, but
at the moment, yes,
it's the first time we actually. Yes, it's the first time we actually saw the Triple H handprint on creative. That's like the first time. That's why it was exciting, is because we see that he would have never done this. Vince would have never done this. Okay, where can we go from here?
Right.
That's
which we saw at the beginning. That's something Vince definitely would have never done.
Could we agree?
100%.
Can we agree that the Roman and Brock match at SummerSlam was way better than the WrestleMania match?
No.
Oh, that's good. No doubt about that.
No, but it's just
like it was just a gimmick.
You've seen it 150 times.
It was a gimmick match.
Take
out that tractor. It was a shitty match.
Oh
no! Come on.
First of all, it went longer than any other match before.
Exactly. I was entertained, and this is Brock and Roman.
Take out the tractor. It was a shitty match.
Well, the tractor is what got it to the next level.
I didn't give a shit.
I'll agree with you.
I didn't even know how to drive it
on that. But before the tractor, the back and forth, the matches, the hitting outside the ring, the close calls. I think it was the best Roman Brock match they've ever done before. And like we said, how many times have we seen it?
But this is the thing. Right. If it was like maybe the third time they ever wrestled, you might have a different opinion on it. You might be like, I'd say, at least in my case or in Justin's case, we might have a more intrigued opinion on it. But I think it's just because it's happened so much. It's kind of like, it was fine, it was good. I'm not gonna say it was bad. Right. I won't go as far as what Justin said, but to say,
as a last match, I think it puts the exclamation mark on that rivalry as
Well,
that's the way to finish it.
You kind of have to. It's the main event of your pay-per-view.
But
yeah. Well, yes, it has to deliver. That's for sure. It's the first one of Triple H's era, so you absolutely wanted to deliver. So, yeah. But I still think it was better than any other match they had, and I think it was deserving of being that main event. And the way they did it, they did it good. And
don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the main event. Like I said, the first thing on the show was awesome. Becky and Belair and that whole Bailey scenario, and the last thing was awesome. There was a few nice little things in the middle, but it was just all right. You know what I mean? It wasn't the Raw.
New era has begun.
The Raw this week might have been better for me than SummerSlam.
Well, every week
last week might have been better for me than it was SummerSlam.
Yeah, I could agree with that, because technically what we want is for them to get better every week, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
that has to be a progress.
I would be more pro to say a new era has begun to an extent. Not,
no.
Oh my
After
God,
the
we
first
saw
match.
Bailey and a new era has begun. We're just ragging on you, good sir. Do not take offense. I'm just saying.
But I definitely think the new era has begun.
I'm just saying, where's my marker?
There's
next year.
The spot, good sir.
But you see, that's why I said at the beginning. I think to really, if the new era has begun,
it has.
But hold on, if it has any weight to it, I think that's why you have to say, wait until the next WrestleMania and actually see. To see how the progress is.
But even we don't. Justin's gonna say it was all right.
No, all I'm asking is for now. SummerSlam was the first step of the new era. Okay, now every week I want a little improvement. By Clash at the Castle, I want to see the difference. I want to know the difference. And by WrestleMania, I want this new era to be the imprint of weekly wrestling on WWE. That's why I mean, in 5-6 months, we're gonna have Triple H's WWE is gonna be everything. It's gonna be his. It's gonna be his baby.
Okay, sorry, guys.
Big Red is a mark.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I wear it proudly.
Sorry. My bad.
But yeah, but all I want to see for now is a progress. Is weekly get better, and get me more excited than I was the week before, and I'm happy. And I guess we're on that path. We're really on that path. Hey,
we really are.
It's almost 2 hours of W Talk now, and we didn't even mention fucking CM Punk.
I technically did, and I was alluding to that because I gotta go fucking pee. But then you guys went WWE again.
Go pee.
No, it's fine. All right, I'll hold it in. I'm a big boy. I can do it. Yes,
but there was rumors that he might
was
be ready to come back.
Because I heard this week.
But
I didn't hear anything of him actually showing up though this week.
Is he back? Is he back full to wrestle?
Oh no, I don't think he's ready to wrestle.
Well, he hopped to 1 foot, so technically yes.
Well, no, I think that he's just working. He's just being I think how do you say, overselling the injury, because what I saw this week was that he was spotted. I don't know where.
I just read it.
What happened? What did you do?
He's a whore.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Fuck, both of my podcasts do that now. God damn
it. He had been spotted without crutches or a boot. So I think that the word got out, and Tony Khan doesn't like too much to be taken by surprise. So he didn't want to. So that's why he goes, okay, since people saw you, you're ready. Just let's see you. Let's get that pop. Even if we have to wait another 2 weeks before you can wrestle, at least we can build. We can build the match.
That's perfect, because the lead up to him and Moxley, if you take it 2-3 weeks, just promos.
Oh yeah,
it's in Chicago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely Chicago.
So that's huge. The face-off in the middle of the ring was a perfect way to end Dynamite.
The Grand Slam? Is it the...
that's in New York, right? Yeah. That's
when is it?
I think it's 2 weeks after All Out.
Okay, it's this week. Okay. After, okay.
September 13th, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Excuse me. So yeah, that could be huge. I think they'll put it back on CM Punk. That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
Well, they put it back. They never took it away. I mean, just.
Well, I'll be very surprised if they don't make him win in Chicago.
Well, he's lost before. He lost to MJF in Chicago.
That's true.
But
talking about that. So MJF now we know is not a new era of podcast. Yes.
I just thought of it. I'm sorry.
That's gonna be our new slogan.
Oh Jesus! What did I do?
Wait, I know I have a lot of editing to do when we're done this. We're offline.
JLB, I need this.
Okay,
I'm teasing. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh shit! I lost my train of thought.
about
MJF.
MJF,
No, MJF. So we know now this is not a work, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I can't comment.
Hey, you never know. He
hasn't been on social media though.
Yeah,
and he hasn't been doing anything at all. Like he was just with Britt Baker, I think, at some kind of Comic-Con or something.
No,
and he was there, and he wasn't there.
No, it was CM Punk at the actual San Diego one. It was the Britt Baker, CM Punk, what's her name? Jade Cargill, Darby Allin were there. Not Darby Allin. Yeah, Darby Allin was there, and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, that's it. OC.
Because he always refuses. Okay, that's not a reason why it's not a work there. But he always refuses to comment on it after at every press conference.
Maybe he got hurt, and it's just instead of saying he got injured, they're kind of playing this out.
Because unless it's an injury, because if it's a work, I think your people are losing interest in
considering that he's not commenting on it yet.
Yeah.
If there was more from him. And you can say that, okay, he's kind of playing into it, but it's not too much where you can say, he's full of shit.
Or I mean, Khan is just like, bro, you're going to sit out for a hot minute. And then if your contract expires, guess what? I'm going to fuck you over for not wrestling for 2 years, and I'm going to be extending it kind of thing. Yeah,
because we found out this week that they have the same clause in their contracts where if you're out, that time might be extended to your contract. I don't know if that's just injury or if I make you sit out, because I don't know if that's fair. I make you stay home and then I extend your contract because I made you stay home. But I don't know. I'm really unless hey, you bring me MJF at All Out and cost CM Punk the belt.
That's what I was going to say.
Then I'm sold all over again.
Because the last thing I heard about MJF is that their plan was for CM Punk versus MJF for the title, and to put it on MJF.
Well, that was before this whole thing. Yes, that was Tony Khan's plan. Apparently, before that whole shit happened. Yeah.
So unless, like you guys said, unless he comes in and CM Punk wins and he pops up.
Yeah, and he runs in, or he costs him the match, or he waits till he wins the match and he comes in and attacks him, one way or another.
Yeah, because even if he doesn't say anything, exactly. Because even if he's not saying anything, at the end of the day, if he comes out at All Out, we're going to be flipping.
Yeah,
and that's when I go and tell you it's a new era of AEW.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be that.
It's a new era, and you know it.
I am going to
screenshot
that moment, and it's
a new elite.
New era begun. Yeah.
So we have a new tag team in the AEW of Smart Mark and Big Red Mark.
That's right.
Shit, that's a hell of a tag team.
Right there. A whole new era of tag teams, if anything.
I'm telling you, that's gonna be our slogan now.
Oh, Jesus.
I guess we covered everything. No, we covered CM Punk. We covered everything. It was a pretty good
We didn't talk a lot about AEW, which is kind of telling too. Not that they're a bad thing. It's just because there was a lot also in WWE, and they're kind of doing a lot more changes. AEW, we're really just waiting for, All Out to happen. So, and next week,
Yeah, we have to cover the new era, right?
That's true too. It's a new era after all, so it's a lot to cover.
I'm gonna start working on that very soon. Wait.
By the way, nice intro. Look at you go.
I try. You know, it'd be good if my partner would help answer me questions, but
I mean, it would be good, but you know, I was in a new era of my room. I couldn't get out.
Okay, now, Justin, let's not drag this
I'm killing
on too much.
I'm killing it. All right, you're right.
We had something good going, and now you're fucking it up.
That's what I'm here for.
We were about to leave on a good note. Damn it!
Boom. But I guess
Justin's ready for a smoke.
Yeah, I'm ready to go tinkle, smoke, and then Big Brother.
You have to go tinkle. Tinkle what?
Tinkle, not tickle, tinkle. It's a whole new era of tinkling. Okay.
I guess a tickle. What the fuck are you talking?
I gotta tickle my jiggle.
Jiggle, wiggle. Diggle.
Okay, now you can take us home.
When there's three different types of languages in a conversation,
well,
and the lines get blurred. Tinkle, yes. I'm not talking about, hey, what's good? Thank you so much, good sir, for showing up.
Why would anyone
appreciate the love?
Yeah. Why only him? We're here too, damn it.
Because I got a tinkle, all right? They want me to go. So they're saying, hey,
okay,
and
go
bye.
Go tickle your peanut.
We're ending it anyways, I guess, unless anyone has any other final thoughts.
Hey, everyone.
There you go. See? There you go. Way to call them out.
That's right.
All right, yeah, you could take us home now, I guess.
But that's it. Ultimately, thank you guys, everyone, for coming and supporting, from the Ambrosios of the world to the Shape Gamers of the world to everyone else in between, Nelson and everyone else. We certainly appreciate the love and support as always every Thursday night. Of course, we do always have the breaking news on our socials at WTN Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and everywhere else. Links will be down below in the doobly-doos and also right there too, technically. And of course, you can follow me at JLBTLC25 on Twitch, and my links will be down below in the doobly-doos. And of course, I am not alone. I have help from my three great co-hosts. He makes it a whole new era of co-hosting. Big Red, good sir, where can they follow you?
At the mark, no, at Big Red 7819 on Twitter or on WTN, or if you like hockey off the bench, where me and my friend Costa Kid Crazy are doing a hockey poll. So if you guys are interested, private message us and we'll give you more details about that.
Boom. Jeff, where can they follow you socially, of course?
Yes, and even that's a little bit like, leave me alone.
But
you can follow me at JT9783 on Twitter and Jeff_9783 on Twitch.
We might also maybe, for real talk, we might be THQ Nordique.
The Quebec.
THQ Nordic is doing a special thing on Friday. They might announce more AEW stuff, but as well as other THQ games for Friday's they're having a little announcement there. So maybe we will try to get that to you as well. And of course, the one who's crazy. I don't know how we get him out of the psych ward all the time every week to do this, but they seem to let us have it. Kid Crazy, where can they follow you, good sir?
You can follow me on Twitter at Saltita_Costa, or on Facebook, Michael Costa, or anything wrestling related right here on WTN. I'll be happy to join in the convo with you boys and you marks.
Well, absolutely.
Big Red, after this show, have you thought about legally changing your name to Mark?
As well.
Jonathan Mark.
Sorry,
Jonathan Marks.
I have a lot explaining to my wife, babe, and it's Mark now.
My name is Mark now.
Now it's gonna be D Mark.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Nice little touch on it.
I like that.
I like it.
Little add a little extra.
D-Mark, new era. Yeah.
D-Mark, new era, and it's going to be a new time to go. We will see you guys next week, same time, as always. Thank you once again. I kind of fucked it up. Thank you once again. Just keep following us for any breaking news. It will be there as always on all of your favorite social medias. Until then, we will see you next time. Ciao for now.